All right, hola, bienvenidos, welcome and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, subscribe for more comparison videos like this. In today's video, I wanted to go over the 4 different brands that I've tried as far as smart probes. You see 3 of them here on the table. These are the ones that I currently have. I also used the Testo 2nd generation. So I'll give an overview on that one and we'll rank them towards the end because I ended up selling those at the time years ago, so I don't have them currently. But I remember using them and how they worked in comparison, trying different brands after the fact. So quick disclaimer, because I can already see you type in the comment, sponsored, biased, paid, whatever. So quick disclaimer, I purchased these Fieldpiece ones in 2021, maybe 2020. So these I've had the longest. I can actually give you like a 4-year update on the wear and tear. And I've seen some other people how theirs kind of have worn out that use them more often, but I use these weekly and I can show you that. The JB ones I've had maybe a month, and I can tell you exactly how those have held up, and I'm afraid of the longevity of these. And JB did send these specific ones out, and so I got them for free. Obviously, I was obligated for 2 videos. I've already done those. This is another video entirely, so we can give you guys an updated review, like a real opinion after using them for a while. I purchased the Navac ones on Navac Tools. And I'll talk about, like I said, I'll talk about price, let you guys know what I think, because my only obligation here is the guys that watch these videos to make a purchase decision. I don't want to steer you guys to something that won't last, won't work, or is just not worth what they're asking. So that means that none of these companies paid for this video. It's a free, honest review, but I don't sweat it, literally, because Camel City Mill has my back. Today's video is brought to you by Camel City Mill work socks. They're warm in the winter, but they have these vents built in that make them super breathable during the summer. It's weird. My feet don't feel nasty at the end of the day, being on a rooftop all day, like I said. Super comfortable. You can wear them for long 12, 14-hour shifts, no problem. And they're backed by a 10-year guarantee. If you guys put a hole in them, wear them out in any shape, way, or form, they will replace them for free. So if you guys have, really nice boots, really nice tools, don't forget about your feet that you're on all day. Check out Camel City Mill and use my discount code reliablehvacr10 or use the link down below. Thanks again, Camel City Mill. All right, so let's just start with what I started with, I guess. And also take note of the size of case. They each have a different type of case to carry them in. All right, so Fieldpiece. I've had these the longest. There is a little bit of wear on them, but not a whole lot. And the probes here, I also have 1 psychrometer. And these I don't use much. We don't do a lot of gas in my area. Everything's electric, but I do have manometers here to complete that kit. The case, I think this is the best case out of all 3. It is the smallest, most compact, to where if I want to have this whole set as its own, case, you can carry a tablet in the back here. But if you want to have, I would recommend the whole air kit on any of these, because I went the cheaper route. Like I said, I bought these and just got the pressure probes and the clamps with the psychrometer. I bought it separate because at the time it was like probably right under $100, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll just get the other one. I think they did come back down. I think it's like 135 or something. I'll check right now, but they were a little too expensive when I went back to buy another one. So I think it's reasonable now, but this is what I did to save a buck, right? I only use one psychrometer. I kind of take my readings one at a time. I don't do the whole full system check because I work on mostly RTUs and walk-in refrigeration boxes. So this is really cool just to carry this and take your, like I got all my probes, I got all my psychrometers, like however you build it out. I love this case. With that being said, I prefer to keep them in my tool bag. So that's going to be another factor in my recommendation. So these I've had for about 4 years at least. Other than them being dingy, I think one of them might have a small tear. There is a tear down here on the low side pressure probe, the one I use the most. And other than that, they do just fine. I do have a depressor on this one, and you're gonna need a charging tee that I had to get separately, but it wasn't a big deal. I think I had a promotion going on at the time. A lot of the time, places like Testo Tools online, they will give you the charging tees. So if you guys need to top off a unit with refrigerant, obviously you need a tee. That way you're reading the system on one port and adding refrigerant through another port. And that's how you go about using probes versus instead of manifolds, which manifolds are kind of, probes are kind of taking over the manifold industry. My only complaint here was I've been telling them I want to see a screen on the probe. I do like personally the form factor, how thin they are, and the durability. You can feel it on these, and they fit the easiest, and there's nothing to really break on these. There's a lot of rubber molding around it, and like I said, built pretty solid. So these are the easiest to put in your tool bag out of any of the bunch here. They fit in all the normal screwdriver slots and stuff like that in tool bags and backpacks and all that. So these are the easiest to carry. The clamps are also pretty thin. The only thing here is it uses like a, it has to have a good connection on the copper. So without that conductive part, it won't give you a temp reading. It's not your traditional thermistor that just can take a reading. It actually has to make really good contact on the copper. For that reason, you need to put it on and basically just kind of maneuver it back and forth to kind of like shine up the copper a little bit, and that's when you'll get a good connection. Or have some sandpaper in your tool bag just so you can sand off the outside. That's the only thing with the temp clamp they're using. That copper has to be clean and it has to give you a good connection. It'll give you an error if it doesn't. Once it's green on the copper, then it's good to go to give you a reading. This kit, which I would recommend getting the psychrometers with it. So the total charge and air kit is on Testo Tools. I'm checking. It might be a little bit more at your supply house. They might have the price up a little bit. It is $735. So I mean, with all that being said, it's not horrible, but just keep in mind probes are an investment, but you don't need to take a manifold with you. You can have these in your tool bag, which is my preference. That way you always have them. Don't take another trip to the van, or you just have it in the case and you take the case when you need it versus a manifold. And you don't lose any charge that gets trapped in the hoses. You don't have potential refrigerant burn when you lose refrigerant hooking up hoses and disconnecting them. So a lot of benefits with a probe set, and that's the Fieldpiece. So obviously on the Fieldpiece you need the app for everything. I like the Fieldpiece app. It has big numbers, it's easy to read for me, and you just scroll up and down to see different stages. If you want to hook up another complete kit, if you have a 2-stage system, anything like that, if you hook up your psychrometers, everything is customizable in the JobLink app. I just really got used to it and I really like it. So no screens on these. You need the app to do anything. Okay, now we look at the JBs. Now this case compared to this case is a big difference. So this one I can tolerate. It carries everything I would need to. I feel like this is a little bit overkill, but if you guys want to outfit this with other stuff, other testing instruments, that's probably where you'll benefit on a bigger case. But if you just need your probe set, which is your pressure probes, your psychrometers, and your clamps, maybe a manometer set, which fits in this one. Like I said, that all fits in this. I don't see a need for this. So this is huge. Even the probes, I don't even know where they are. The pressure probes get buried in there. So these are the JBs. These come in slightly higher. So I do feel like there should be a bigger difference, but $790 on TruTech Tools. The benefit, pros and cons, remember. The benefit here is you get a screen. So I will show these all up close, but you have a screen built into the pressure probe on all of the probes that gives you just the reading that it takes. Like this one is only the pressure. So in order to see saturation temperature or your superheat and subcool, you still need the app. So yeah, you can't do anything other than just get a basic reading. The pressure on these, on any of the temperature stuff, you only get the temperature. You would have to do your conversion or look at the app and set your refrigerant to get anything of use, or anything helpful. So there is a $57 difference. For 50 bucks more, you get the screen, but you lose the durability. Like I said, I'm gonna show this up close. I've already, just from having it in my tool bag, and I feel like, because I do a lot of content, I took pictures, I took video, and they were fine on the job site. And then later that night, to go show a comparison for one of the, I got a question on it. I took it out of my bag and it was broken. So sometime in transporting it, it broke. So I'm missing this piece in the front. I have no idea what that is even for. This little door here just came off completely. It has cracked on the side. You can already see a piece missing here. And I'm actually noticing more today. There's cracks on this side. The crack looks like it ran all the way across over this charging port and then ran on this side. And there's a, yep, there was a piece that just came off. So you gain a screen and a charging port. So that is the other benefit. That was very nice to have, just being able to hook it up and being able to top off a unit that, you would otherwise have to go get a hose and a charging tee and make sure you have all the fittings. This one was easy to charge, but that also makes it hard to store. Now, I don't feel like I overstuffed my bag, but I had my 2 pressure probes in there and the clamps in the VETO bags. There is a clamp pouch, right? You can put your clamps in there in the back, and only one of my probes took the brunt of it. So this one is completely broken. Also, every time you drop one of these, even when I drop, because I took it in this case, they do fit in this case, just so you guys know, but I knocked over the case off a 2nd or 3rd rung on a ladder. I set it down and it fell over. All the batteries flew out. Every time I drop a probe or any of the other ones, the batteries fall out. They have this tab here that's supposed to lock it for you to be able to change the batteries and all that, but it doesn't matter. If you have it locked, it flies off. This is unfortunately just plastic. So it feels, I've talked to other creators, I've talked to other guys that we've talked about these probes. The first thing everybody says is they feel cheap. They don't feel good. And my whole concern was like, how do they last just being in a tool bag? Because I don't even beat up my tools. I've mentioned this before. I work in hospitals. I work in restaurants. I'm not doing like construction. There's no heavy wear and tear. I'm not throwing these things around. They simply just need to hold up being in a tool bag that I take up to the roof with me and, I even have a space for it in the van. Like, it doesn't get thrown around. For them to break on me, I feel like, you know, that says a lot about the quality. So you gain a screen, you gain a charging port, but you lose a lot in quality. Now their app, you still need their app to do anything of, like I said, superheat, subcool, getting all your saturation temperatures off the pressures. You still need the app. Their app, if you're a big fan of the MeasureQuick app, it looks identical. I think they even said they worked with MeasureQuick to get that up and going. So they do have their own app. It works exactly like MeasureQuick. It even looks like it, just has a different like color to it, and it doesn't do all the extra things that MeasureQuick does. So if you just want basic readings, and it looks kind of cool because it has a little gauge display as well, the little manifold display. You can use that app from JB. So I really wanted to like these, but them being so fragile, I just couldn't. Now, I mentioned in that video that I did for JB, and it goes with any of these. If you want them to last the absolute longest and not take any of this, and I could be wrong because I've had people send me pictures of the JBs, and I never asked how they carried them. They could have been carrying them in the case, but my whole thing was like, if you want these to last, you might want to use the case that it comes in, and you can also honestly send them out for warranty. I think that's what they were telling me, that they send them out for warranty, this and that. So you would just have to keep that in mind. It's plastic. It breaks very easily. I think I've only broken this one, but it doesn't. I don't feel super confident. I don't feel super confident in, you know, having these on my day-to-day. These are the clamps. Pretty sure you can see the difference here. They are much larger. They stick out quite a bit versus the Fieldpiece. You get a slightly bigger opening jaw on the JBs, but I work on smaller equipment. That's not a big deal for me. And these right here are the JBs. You do, I think it's a new thing, but now you do get included in this kit the 45 angle adapter, because without it, it is a straight shot here. This gives you that ability to get into tight spots. So it has to be an adapter, just so you guys know. But they are included in the kit, at least the one that I got. It's on the box, like they include them. So you get a straight shot on the JB, and you do get an angled coupler on the Fieldpiece, and then that's just, you know, the difference right there. I'll show them up close in a minute. All right, now these are the newest smart probes, the Navacs, and if you're a fan of briefcases or packouts, I'm not somebody that likes to put stuff in packouts because I'm a rooftop technician, and carrying anything that is a briefcase style, although it does come with a shoulder strap, just so you know, just seems redundant or counterintuitive, because where I can stand them up in something like the case like these, preferably a smaller one, why do I need such a big surface area? So that was my first thing, is I'm not going to be carrying this case up on a roof. With that being said, I've already done a video. The only ding I have here is the magnet's not strong enough on the psychrometers, and these clamps are okay. They are the biggest of the bunch. So where I was mentioning that the JBs are bigger than the Fieldpiece, well, here comes Navac at an even larger size right there. The JBs, well, they're about the same. The JBs are like a hair bigger, but yeah, you don't get any benefit from them being much larger. It's the same pipe capacity on that. And then you have the probe themselves. Now these over here take batteries. The Fieldpiece takes 2 AAA on each probe and clamp. These are 2 AA's on the JB on each of them. So 2 batteries in each, AAA, AA on the JB. These have a benefit of being rechargeable, whether you like that or not. That is totally up to you, because I think I mentioned it in the other video, only because I have the experience of, like, when I buy stuff for my content, when I buy microphones, I bought the Rode microphones and I didn't like that you had to charge each mic, the 2 mics individually, and then the receiver individually. It was cool, but immediately returned them to get the DJI mics that came in a charging case, because you could throw them all together and charge it with 1 cable. That is going to be my gripe with this one. If I didn't make myself clear in the other video, you got to charge each one individually. Maybe if you get a cable that splits into 4 to 6 USB-C plugs, then that'd be kind of cool. But they send you a charging cord for each one. But, like, are you gonna have 4 different bricks to put them into? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So each one is rechargeable. If you like rechargeable tools, and that's a benefit here. Personally, I don't mind it. It's just the charging is not going to be, I don't think, a great experience, because you got to charge each one. Typically, you might only have 1 cable in your van at a time, and you realize that it's low or dead. You need to go charge it up. I don't know if it has any fast charging. That would be great if it has like a 5 to 10 minute quick charge feature, but I doubt it. Whereas I have had the Fieldpiece die on me in the field, and I just go grab 2 more batteries and I got a full charge, right? So I always carry batteries in the van for that. So these are rechargeable if you like them. Although I think these were made way before, and they're just included because they can work together. The app, the My Navac app, does not support these completely. For it to show superheat, subcool, and everything on 1 page, you got to look at each one individually and set one individually for refrigerants and all that. So it's not ready as of recording this video, which it is April 24th. And the clamps, I think, were just put in this kit, and they're going to make it work together. I think it works in Measure Quick, because these are all Measure Quick compatible. These do take batteries. They take like 2 AAA. Yeah, they take 2 AAA batteries. So you do have to remember, in a rechargeable setup here, you have your clamps that need batteries. So you're going to need batteries regardless. So I don't think they were meant for this kit. I think they came from their manifold set. So I understand they work together, so let's put them together. But you make all this new stuff rechargeable, but then some of it takes batteries. If somebody goes to this kit and they're like, oh, I want it because it's rechargeable, and then they find out they need batteries still, it's kind of a bummer. So that's the only thing with this. Obviously the case. Okay, whatever screen technology they're using on the clamp is actually brighter than the probe. So the benefit on the Navac here, I can't test them too much to be able to give you a whole list of benefits, but it does have a bigger screen versus, like the JB here, to where it can give you more information. That was my main concern, was, JB gives you a reading, which is really cool. It's more beneficial to me on their psychrometers, because I can leave that somewhere and just kind of visually see the temperature. But on a pressure probe, you always need saturation, you always need superheat, subcool. That's kind of what you're testing when you're using a pressure probe. So this one, thankfully, we'll see what it does, because when I initially turn them back on, like after I've used them, I turn them off, I turn them back on, the refrigerant clears out. So hopefully, it'd be nice if it could save what you used last, but I know that's asking a lot. But at least if you have the app and you set it, you can have these hooked up, and you can actually see refrigerant that you have selected. So it does tell you what refrigerant you have, as far as like if it's 410A, if it's 454B, whatever. And it'll give you the PSI, and it'll give you the saturated temperature all on this display right here. So I really wanted to like these. And then if we compare the size of them, they are the biggest of the bunch. You lose a little bit of the compactness and all that with getting a bigger screen and it doing or trying to do more. And but it wasn't bad, honestly. And it has the angled coupler already on there, so you don't need an adapter unless you want one. I like to use like the core depressor fittings on my high side probes anyway. So this one is, like I said, very promising. It is built, it has this rubber molding on it, so it is built more like the Fieldpiece versus the plastic on the JB. So I feel like this would have done well. But the weak magnet on the psychrometers, the clamps I could have dealt with. The clamps also have a screen readout right here. And it comes with the charging T, which is always a good thing. So they give you the adapter you need to be able to top off a unit or do a startup, anything like that. And the drawback here is I still don't have an update for it. I'm going to show you how to work around the apps right now because I did manage to get that far. So the My Navac app, as of this video, is not ready. It will hook up to the app, but it will only show you one probe at a time. And you can pick refrigerant and all that, but it's just going to show you pressure and saturation for one probe. You have to go back out and go to the next probe. You don't get them on the same screen. You don't get superheat subcool. You can't see your psychrometers. You can't see more than one at a time. So that's the My Navac app. The Measure Quick app has a update that needs to be pushed out. Where I thought initially they were useless, I can show you actually how to use them if you do want to buy them. I do think they're great probes. All right, we're gonna try again. We're gonna go to My Navac. They are connected. So when we go here to the app, you can turn them on. And it's still just one at a time. To get around that, you need to go to Measure Quick. So there's no update yet. It picks up the probes in the manager there. These are down here for pressure. Again, I cannot map them, nothing happens. So if you guys want to use these probes, you're gonna have to go down to Settings up here in the corner. Go down to right here in Advanced Settings. You're gonna put Use Beta App Version. It's gonna say please restart this app so that you can use beta. So we're going to dismiss it, foreclose it, open the app back up, and we should get a prompt. Yeah, there you got an update available, and you're going to update that. Once that's done, now let's go to gauges. It looks like it picked up the low side there. Still hasn't picked up over here, but let me go to the toolbox probe manager, and you can see now it gives you an actual reading. So we just need to map them. Low pressure, high pressure, gauges. Okay. I'll foreclose it. So Right now it shows 0 PSI, so that means it is working. But you guys see how it says 410A? That's usually the default. The screens here are still reading what the My Navac app said, R11 and R22. So it's not changing it on this side. So yeah, I've been messing with it. I changed it to 404, but on the display, it's still not updating that information. You're still going to get the PSI reading here, which is fine for most people. You're not going to see the saturation temperature unless you're in the Measure Quick app. That way you get the number and it basically converts it to whatever you pick, because I'm selected for 404, but your display for some reason is not picking it up. So me doing that video where I reviewed this, they're basically addressing every single issue that I brought up in that video. I won't share the letter itself for, you know, to be respectful, but they are gonna address the weak magnet. Anybody that buys them right now is supposed to get an upgraded magnet adapter. Their app is under construction to work with them. The Measure Quick compatibility, I was told, is there. It just never got into the final approval process. And they also fixed the QR code that redirected to nowhere, and they're thinking about a new case. At the price of $679, a whole like $100 cheaper than the JB, and about $50 or $60 cheaper than the Fieldpiece, you get more. It's just they need to work. I appreciate a company that actually owns up to feedback and issues and all of that. So just know that they're working on that. I commend them for doing that at least. And honestly, I think they just have a lot of products coming out to where, you know, they basically said this got overlooked. And I also I'm doing a review on the manifold too, but you know, things get overlooked. And if they, or any company that is watching these videos, they do watch these videos. So if you guys want your voices heard, please leave a comment down below. Let me know which one you like, maybe your opinions on any of the brands, and that way they can hear it too and see that. But you know, I commend them for it. They're listening, they're taking feedback. Like, who are these for, right? So if it's for the everyday technician, the residential, commercial, like they're trying to get to everybody, those are the people that need to be testing them out, right? So any brand that is here, any brand that is listening, because I've talked to each one of them about things that they could improve, right? I've been begging Fieldpiece to do a screen on there, so maybe version 2 is coming soon. JB, I can't get over the amount of plastic that they use in their probes and in their manifold. I broke everything that they've sent. And then Navac, hot out of the gate with a pretty good design. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but pretty good design. Display, everything that people were asking from Fieldpiece, they've managed to build something here. My whole thing is, like I said, I do these videos for people that actually buy this stuff. Sometimes I buy it, sometimes it gets sent out. I have to be honest with you guys, and if as of recording this video, I cannot fully say these are worth it because of the app support, but you can get into it with the beta version. It's not hard to get into. So there's that. Hopefully they'll get the magnet fixed soon. JB, there's a lot of guys that have the JB. They've been out for a while. So if you guys have them and you like them, cool. They broke way too easily for me, so I cannot tell somebody to buy them, or I would tell them, please use the case that it came with, or be very gentle with them. My pick is always going to be the Fieldpiece. It is the slimmest, the easiest to carry in your tool bag. But if you want to carry the pouch that they provide, it is a super small case and it's easy. It has, you know, some protection to it. So whether you carry it in your tool bag, whether you carry it in their case, I think Fieldpiece has the upper leg here. The only thing is they need to figure out a screen just to be more useful, because I live in Texas, so my phone is always overheating. Sometimes it's hard to see. Sometimes I can't, I'm wearing gloves. I can't use the screen that well, or I'm answering the phone, taking a text message, on hold, whatever. A screen would be helpful. So I can't wait to see if they ever do that. These break too easily, and these don't have an app that works. So yeah, like I said, Navac has it in the price category at $679. These are $780 basically, and these are $735. So take your pick. You get basically the same with any of them. This one has a bigger display with more information. This has a display, and their app works pretty well. And Fieldpiece, no display, but their apps work. All of them work with MeasureQuick, durable. I've been using them for a while. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to give you guys a durability update on these. I do think they're gonna last. They're built really well. They feel really good, but I am returning them just because they have been sitting here in the garage. The apps don't work properly. I don't wanna wait. This is a I use a discount code. So if you guys use TrueTech Tools, use any of your favorite discounts. There's HVAC Guy, Uncensored. There's a few of them. HVACR Videos has one. Use a discount code, you get like 8% off. So I try to buy anything that I can on TrueTech Tools and get a discount. So I paid $650 for this. That's a lot of money to be sitting in the garage. So I'm gonna do my return, finish that up, get my money back, and then go back to Fieldpiece. And I'm probably gonna use the probes, the psychrometers from this kit, because I do like the screen on them. I've been talking with Navac. Maybe we'll revisit their probes in the future once they fix the magnets, they fix the apps, and everything's working properly. We can give you guys kind of an update. I'll work with them on helping you guys out as well. And yeah, just leave your opinions in the comments. I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Hopefully that was a little bit of a help to you if you're deciding on what to go with. Now I'm gonna rank them really quick, and I did mention the Testos. I had the Testos. They damn near work just the same as Fieldpiece. My only problem, and the reason I sold them, I used them for a bit. The durability is there. So I would say Fieldpiece is first on my list, and then Testo is second on my list, the second generation, because the only thing is the buttons. So the buttons here are pretty flush on Navac. JBs, they do stick out. So I did break one of the buttons actually. I forgot to mention that. And these are recessed on the Fieldpiece. So they never turn on. I'd never had an issue with the buttons on this one. Testo has a button that sticks out, and it was a click, a simple tap to turn them on. I don't know if they changed that. These are a hold to turn. These are all like you have to hold it to turn it on for a few seconds. So if Testo hasn't changed it, if they did, great. They would always turn on in my tool bag because it would get, scrunched up together. A tool would push the button and they would be dead by the time I got to my next job site. So that's what sucks about Testos. I don't know if they fixed it. They have a great app. It's very similar to Fieldpiece's, very simple, big numbers. So I would put Fieldpiece first, Testo second. I still think the Navacs are above JB. JB is going to be the hardest one for me to recommend because now that these do work on the beta version of MeasureQuick, the durability is here. The information on the screen is here. They are so close to perfecting this. They need to update the clamps themselves. I would love to see something slimmer, and if they're going to be rechargeable, make everything rechargeable. That's just my opinion. So Fieldpiece, Testo, Navac, JB. It's your choice. Let me know which one you guys are interested in or which one you guys have. Like I said, if you have any opinions on any brand, let them know in the comments. I appreciate you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time.